Yeah, it's time for some more Sleep Token. It's been long enough. This song, Gethsemane, deserves a super nerdy listen through and analysis. So I have prepared stems so we can dive into the nuances of this production and this song. The lyrics are incredible. The pacing of the vocals. It will be beneficial since I will not be playing the whole mix much. If you have recently listened to this song in its entirety, or you could just go listen to the song in its entirety after watching this one. It'll just help you appreciate everything even more. So the vocal tone in combination with the vocal effects is really quite cool here and unique. And a lot of what I'm going to do here is make guesses based on my experience as a vocalist and vocal producer. But I think that there's more going on here than just a breathy sound from the vocalist.
I wanted you to know I've learned to live without it. And even though it's cold and now I no longer feel surrounded.
And he does a wonderful job of dipping down into his chest voice, and his dynamics, his loudness is allowing him to seamlessly go between head voice and light chest without any transitional sort of evidence.
I wanted you to know.
But there's an extra degree of breathiness here.
I wanted you to know.
But I think they're using this. This is a plugin that allows you to add breathiness and slightly change various things about your throat. I wanted you to know. I'm going to add a little bit of breathiness here. I wanted you to know. I wanted you to know. It also just enough to add to the already breathy sound. Now, it could be that this is being used in conjunction with an already breathy sound or a breathy double where he goes back in. I wanted you to know, which I've done on some performances and I've seen done with other vocalists in the studio. They add a whisper track and then they vocal line it in. Could be either way.
You never saw me naked. You wouldn't even touch me, except if you were wasted. But you were trying your best, and that's the thing I tell the others. I was your robot companion. You were my favorite color, and oh.
Nice automated reverb up there. Let's listen to these drums in isolation. This guy just grooves, man.
person that tried to turn my salvation for you. Someone who didn't mind the push-pull pile of games. Someone who wasn't always crying on the journey back. Someone who didn't feel the low blows either way. But I was way too far when all along it was you with the countdown kill switch, and it was me with the blindfold on. I was trying my best.
Okay. Amazing harmonies. A lot of them are static, sort of pedal tones, which work amazingly well. These guys are so smart in their arranging. Listen to what's going on with the guitar. This is the kind of stuff you don't notice unless you're listening to stems. But listen to what's going on with the guitar, and then listen to what's going on with the sort of pedal tone harmonies that go in and out on the vocals.
Someone who wasn't always crying on the journey back. Someone who wasn't always crying on the journey back.
Okay, guitar.
Someone who wasn't always crying on the journey back. Someone who...
The vocals are completing the guitar stack, and because of the way it's mixed, they join together in a really unique way.
Someone who wasn't always crying on the journey back.
So we have the melody covering the 4th degree of the minor scale right here. La, na, na, na. We have that low.
Someone who wasn't always crying.
That's the 5th. So there's this dissonance there, even in the vocals, and that's why, because the guitar is playing full chords here. But right there, it disappears, and the low vocals hold that 5th. That's where that synergy is coming from. So cool, just cohesive arranging. Wow.
Someone who wasn't always crying on the journey back. Someone who didn't feel the low blows either way. But I was way too far.
I love that distortion that they put over the lead as he's going into his head voice there just for a minute, and then it clears out.
Either way, but I was way too far when all along it was you with the countdown kill switch, and it was me with the blindfold on. I was trying my best.
Let's talk about Vessel's technique right here.
It was you with the countdown kill switch, and it was me with the
And it was me with the blindfold on, and it was me. Really difficult to do. He leans into this chestier posture, more chesty than we've heard him, and then he abandons up into his head voice for just that one note. And it was an interval of a 5th there, quite the distance. Takes a lot of coordination to get that right. And to weight up your voice again. He's been spending this whole time in this sort of lightness, and then he starts adding more and more beef, more and more weight right here.
With the blindfold on. I was trying my best, and that's the thing I tell the mirror. I was in love with the thought that we were in love with each other.
I was in love with the thought that we were in love with each other. There's a one-liner that can be applied to a lot of different things. I want to love you. I want to like this. I want to do this. Man, how often do we feel that way?
Thought that we were in love with each other. What might be good for your heart?
There's that wonderful abandonment up into his head voice again.
What might be good for your heart?
Not what might be good for your heart. No. What might be good for your... What might... Really commit to that note, give it its own character, its own level of energy, and then when we go to baby, baby, let's pull the rug out. The thing is Vessel uses so much restraint. It's about supporting the lyrics and being lyrical with his notes. Few vocalists do it as well as Vessel. He could be good for you. He could do that. He could show what he can do with his voice. But he actually shows more range and taste by showing restraint and discernment based on what he's going for as he communicates these delicate lyrics.
My love picked up for my head. Oh, what was there at the start?
Again, the voice is moving sort of like guitar chords here.
Oh, what was there at the start?
And you can hear that in the stems of the guitar arrangement leaves space for the vocals to then take that over.
Oh, what was there at the start? My love did everything.
Just brilliant.
Oh, what was there at the start? My love did everything in the end. Do you wanna have me?
That chord. Oh, and what it does to the melody is just awesome.
Do you wanna have me?
Right here, right here, right here.
Do you wanna have me?
Right there. Oh.
Nobody asked me better.
Some guitar. Now here's some fun. There's some muddiness in there with the synths. The AI stem splitter in Logic didn't fully separate things, but we can hear some Fry sort of whisper screamy goodness going on back there. And we hear this in other Sleep Token recordings a little bit more prominently, one of them being The Summoning. He uses this technique. And I've actually done a cover of The Summoning. I'll leave a link in the end screen to that. But let's build this sound. It starts with a little bit of Fry. Just go down to the very lowest, because there's no voice really in this scream. Intended voice anyway. Then we're going to raise the pitch of that Fry a little bit, and we're going to add some complexity to it by adding a bit of air to it. Then we're going to add a tiny bit of voice to it. Then we're going to compress into it. Lift something heavy. Play with our face posture as well as the balance of compression and just Harry Fry. And then we get these sort of creepy sounds. Throw a ton of reverb and delay on them. Put them in the back of the mix a little bit. You can make a lot of sounds with this technique. But the key is starting with that light fry and then learning how to moderate breath pressure and compress into it. If you'd like more help working with cool and unconventional vocal techniques and putting them in your voice in a healthy way, start by clicking the link below in the pinned comment or video description and joining my free course. I'll help you pull things from your inspirations and do things with your voice you never thought you could. Some neat layers. Totally different drum sound here. The back half of this song is just nuts. There's a rap quality here. The melody isn't super complex. It's all about the constancy of the rhythm in the vocals with the drums are consistent, but they throw some interesting, particularly in the hi-hats, there's a lot of nuance there. Here the vocals leave the hole. They leave the opening for that nuanced hi-hat and the rest of the drums. But especially in this song, I notice the handoffs between the different instruments, the arranging, giving permission for one instrument to do a certain thing enables something special in another part of the arrangement. And these vocals, you first listen to it and you're like, okay, yeah, cool. It's kind of sort of a little bit rap singing. I mean, there's a simple melody there. But then when you go down and you listen to the rest of the band, you really listen and you're like, oh, there's a handoff. There's another handoff. You don't hear that a lot in music these days because music isn't produced as collaboratively as it used to be. I think in general, I'm making a huge generalization there, but I really appreciate that about Sleep Token's arranging. I like how every once in a while Vessel gets into this subtle compression posture. On Ash. Cigarette, belted and forward, and then Ash is thrown back to really exaggerate it. Cigarette, Ash, cigarette, There's something heavy, buzzer it just a little bit. Cigarette, Ash, yeah. Again, it's all so subtle and nuanced, and that's what's so fun about it. Not obvious. And all we're thinking is, wow, this is really great. when we're listening to it from, within the whole mix and maybe for the first or second time. But the more you get into these guys, this is why you can listen to these songs over and over and over again, even, the album versions, and pick up new fun.
Wanna let you know, keep it like a dream, put it down like a smoke. We used to be a team, now we let each other go. Cigarette, I'm still clinging to my clothes. I don't wanna stick around, I just wanna let you know. Keep it like a dream, put it down like a smoke. We used to be a team, now we let each other go. Cigarette, I'm still clinging to my clothes. I don't want.
And here again, they're bringing back this idea of the vocals taking over some of the power chord nature of what a guitar normally would do. Those low harmonies, with the way that they're covering that fifth, and you notice what the guitar's doing. The voice is providing that mid-range power chord quality.
Save me from your memories, nothing to lose, but I would have given anything to get closer to you and all your enemies. I've got a few of my own, and this throne didn't come with a gun, so I got a different energy. I still see you when the lights get low, I still hear you when I'm on my own. The parasites in the nightmares calling my name like this one's for you and your problems, your good day job, your bad karma. What are you afraid of? The same job, but you constant pain like I ain't got none. And I've learned to live beside it.
Yeah, listen to that heat up there.
But you constant pain like I ain't got none. And I've learned to live beside it.
And I've learned to live beside it. Bringing in just a little bit of high false chord engagement. Heating it up ever so subtly.
Constant pain like I ain't got none. And I've learned to live beside it. And even though it's over now, I will.
And even though it's over now, just enough restraint, connected, serving the lyrics.
Constant pain like I ain't got none. And I've learned to live beside it. And even though it's over now, I will always be reminded.
Yeah. Thanks so much for digging into all the nuances with me on this song. Let me know if you liked this format. Again, if you'd like help developing new qualities in your own voice, click that link below in the pinned comment or video description and join my free course. And here's the cover of the summoning that I've done, as well as some videos analyzing other Sleep Token songs. Hope you enjoy.